The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Get ready to be amazed. Get ready to know things that nobody could know. Get ready for Recovery Wednesday with America's original radio psychic, Dr. Linda Salvin, along with Candy Finnegan from the Emmy Award-winning television show Intervention. Candy brings her more than 30 years of experience dealing with all areas of recovery. Listen as Candy and Dr. Linda bring expert guests into the conversation to bring your recovery to the next level. Together, they bring you the tools and techniques that bring balance and serenity to your life. For nearly 30 years as a syndicated talk show host and metaphysical clinician, Dr. Linda has helped thousands of people worldwide solve problems on the air and in person with her insights and solutions. So pull up a chair, turn it up, and get ready for a visit with the one and only Dr. Linda. And now, live from Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Linda Salvin.
Okay, here we are again. My name is Dr. Linda Salvin. We are in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. And if you don't know what that is, please go Google it, because I'm not going to take half of this show, which is Recovery Wednesday with Candy Finnegan. Let's bring Candy on. And there she is. We had a few glitches, and that happens in a Mercury retrograde where either the computers don't work or communication gets crazy. I've been sick in bed for 4 days, so my voice is a bit raspy. My hair is a little drenched from perspiring as the virus is breaking out of my system. But this show is about gratitude and how we get it. So I'm grateful we finally worked out the glitches of the technical world, which I don't like. I'm not a techie person. But we're here, people. We may be 10 minutes late, but we'll still get in a good amount of knowledge, wisdom, and insight for you if you want to know what gratitude is and how you get it. How do you get gratitude, Candy Finnegan? Welcome to the show today.
Oh, thanks, Linda. I'm sorry you're not feeling good. Well, the definition, I looked it up, which, because for me, being grateful and a gratitude is a feeling, it's. We say the word, but each of us feel it so differently, It says the quality of being thankful, a readiness to show appreciation for and to, and returning all kindness that usually you wouldn't. So I thought that was funny because that was me.
Well, we're not always grateful, and I can't always walk on water. Neither can you. Or just like with getting frustrated with all these issues, trying to get the show on time, or you not having the link right, or if the button didn't work, or the connection fails because the internet is out, or whatever, or whatever's going on. But then at the end of the rant, there's gratitude usually, or at the end when you get quiet, right?
Yeah, let me ask you something. So before you started on your new journey 38 years ago, had you ever heard anybody say, "Oh, I'm so grateful"? Because I don't think it was a word that I didn't grow up with it.
I did grow up with it.
Yeah, I didn't.
My mom would always yell, "You're not grateful. These kids are so ungrateful." I was programmed to be ungrateful.
I take it back. Ungrateful, I heard.
Yeah. Or they would turn it around to say, "They're not grateful. Why aren't you grateful?" Or "Kids are starving in Europe." Whatever they threw out at the time for the guilt. But no, it wasn't like, "God, I'm so grateful you're my daughter. I'm so grateful for this car. I'm so grateful for that we're going on a trip. Or I'm so grateful you helped me."
I heard appreciate.
Maybe appreciate, but it's also
appreciate
50 years later, it's a different time. But you're right. 38 years ago, when I went on this new journey, and what Candy's referring to, a month from now, in October of 2023, I will be in my 38th year of recovery. That's a long time to not be.
Cocktails.
Yeah, and joints and cigarettes and other behaviors that go along with all the drinking and partying. No, I was, I did my damage when I was young, and I'm grateful to be where I am today, and yet I can be remorseful, especially through the retrograde when the RE words come up, the regrets of wasting the time or not taking advantage of what might have been offered that I couldn't see as a result of the intoxication or negative thinking or whatever. But the gratitude is being here now, looking at what I've accomplished in another realm of whatever I'm still trying to create. Same with you. I get grateful for people like you in my life. I think about who are my friends, who are my enemies, who's in between, who's superficial, whether it's family, work, personal. There's a lot to be grateful for. And we're still alive.
You know, the first time I started in to realize that I had a drinking problem, I remember sitting in a 12-step meeting and having someone say, hi, my name is blah, blah, and I'm a grateful alcoholic. And I thought, well, you're
grateful.
Like, you're nuts. What do you mean you're great? And, you know, it wasn't too long after that. I can honestly tell you from my heart that I've never said that. I mean, when I speak or whatever I do, because I felt it was so overused. But I certainly understand it. And, you know, because alcoholic is not a past tense, it's a present. If you are an alcoholic.
People understand the disease. They think 1 or 2 drinks or a binge over the weekend, or if you're going to binge drink for a couple of days, then you're okay for 2 months. It's still the ism. It's still the waviness, the attitude change, the behavioral change, whatever. And people don't understand. It's not just the dopamine fix or the depressive effect or whatever. It's a whole wavy life. It really is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think that a lot of people that are in our position throw that around. You know, a gratitude list, a grateful person. Why aren't you grateful for this? Well, I don't think you can tell somebody to be grateful. I think, as I said, it's
I agree with you. I think it's something you learn or you feel in time, right? It grows if it's supposed to. Or you see it from a different perspective, but when it's shoved down your throat,
Well, I don't think anybody has the right to tell you what you should or shouldn't be grateful for. As I said, you know, I think that's a very personal situation. But, you know, I think for me also, you know, how I got gratitude is being of service, looking for somebody else to help instead of being self-righteous and self-centered. And I think it unfolded over time. You know, one of the things that was pointed out to me not too long ago, and of course, you know about it, was somebody told me that I, you know, wasn't grateful for the things I had. And I'm telling you, if murder was legal, that person wouldn't be on a planet. But, you know, and it was not that they didn't know me well enough, but it was so insulting for somebody to tell me what I am, because I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for you and for friendship. I'm grateful for the opportunities that that I get to participate in. But when somebody says to you, you better get grateful, I thought, well, you know, don't make me kill again. You know, it's like one of those things.
But then again, like they always say, if a person points a finger at you, there's always 3 coming back in return. Yeah. So turn it back to that person. Where are they ungrateful? Or what are they jealous of? Or what do they resent in you that they don't have, or they see in you that they wish they had? I'm sorry about my voice, people. I'm really just breaking through this
kind
thing.
Of sexy, but go ahead.
You know, people don't. You can feel grateful, you can feel whatever you want to feel, but don't tell somebody how to feel if they don't feel it. And that gratitude, I believe, evolves like everything else in practicing certain things or releasing certain things. It opens the doorway to feel the blessing. It's like getting up in the morning. Oh, I'm grateful when I look out the window and I see blue skies, a sun, and some green trees, as opposed to, you know, I'm getting clobbered over the head by somebody.
Not opening your shades, right?
Can it be taught or learned? Courtney, that's a great question. We'll get to that in just a moment.
Well, one thing about...
You want to answer that question?
Well, I think one thing about keeping it, the shift for me was that I started trying to stop and smell the roses. I stopped and tried to deeply understand that my life would be better if I could help somebody else. I would be more grateful if I could see the good things. It's that, we have a saying, half full, half empty. What is that glass? The first year that I got sober, I was given directions to put a water glass by my bed with water halfway up.
And look at it.
I got to wake up in the morning, decided if it was half empty or half full, because it never moved. Well, unless I drank it. And then, but it's that thing where I don't think I looked for the good in everybody. I don't think I wanted kind of everybody to be as miserable as I was, even though I acted like I wasn't, that inner soul, So do I think that it can be taught? No, I think we live by example. But I think you can start saying, oh, maybe this woman would like me to help her with her groceries. Oh, I think that, and so you could be grateful that you helped somebody. I mean, for the first many years, I was grateful that I hadn't taken a drink. We make things like gratitude lists. What are you grateful for other than 10 fingers and 10 toes and a nose?
For your health, your family, your job, exactly. Money, a roof over your head. You got to go back to basics, though, because a lot of people think, oh, be grateful for, the moon, the stars, and the sun. But no, it's a personal thing, too. It's like
I agree.
When people say I have no money, and I'll say, well, then how come you're on your cell phone? Or I'll say, how do you pay for the internet? How did you get the car to wherever you were going? I said, back up. You may not have enough as what you want, but you have what you need.
But you have what you need, right?
And then you got to get back to the need list as to all your needs are met. Like it says in the book, you don't get what you want, you get what you need, and what you need turns out to be what you want. And then all of a sudden the gratitude is like, oh, because I can be thinking, oh, I don't have this, I don't live there, I don't see this, I don't see that. It just.
How did you see that glass? Well,
it's always helpful.
Certainly, it certainly depended on the day. If I woke up with my late and I didn't get my kids to school on time, it was half empty. But as time went on, no matter what, it was always half full.
Absolutely. It shifts. Everything changes when you clear up.
Everything changes when you change.
Yeah, the perception. And your gratitude is an evolving emotion where that anger or the resentment or the fear that eats at us, all of a sudden, when you start to see God's rejection is God's protection, or a coincidence is God acting anonymously, or the will of God will never lead you, or the grace of God cannot keep you, all that, all of a sudden you feel and you surrender. All of a sudden, when that other emotion isn't there that's bogging us down, that we live with, that runs us, that anger and that fear, then the gratitude comes in. So what else do you call it? It can be peace. But usually if you take wow, I really feel glad, grateful.
Well, or blessed.
Blessed, another word, sure.
I think that when I did my best to be the best person I could be, I think that I started appreciating smaller things, lovelier things. Take a second to smell the roses. Mm-hmm. But I certainly was retaught because I was going so fast before that. I barely had time to light a cigarette. Well, I always found time.
Yeah, I always found. And just like people have no money, but you always have enough money for drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes.
Absolutely.
Okay. But then Candy Finnegan, once she got into this new lifestyle, went back to school, got a master's in recovery, was on TV for 10 years, traveled around the country day in, day out, doing the show, helping people from Skid Row bums to celebrities beyond words, and every human fractured soul in between. And this woman is grateful. I hear what she goes through. She hears what I go through helping people. It's not easy because we take it on, but we're here to help in different fields of helping. But it gave both of us a whole new life because doors opened that we did not expect. So yes, we got grateful. Candy's the one that encouraged me to get the PhD. We went to a conference one time and we were talking about it. She helped encourage me. And I was 54 years old when I got that thing. People are, I'm so old, I'm 27. I'm like, yeah, okay, wait, but
well, you're never too old to learn.
Never. And that's the same with gratitude. You get into the moment because life goes on. It's one long journey. And I teach people, it's not like a calendar. You don't have to have it by October or the next February. Yes, you can set your goals and your dreams, but if it doesn't happen or he doesn't show up or she doesn't call, it will happen if it's meant to happen. But be grateful in the meantime for what you're doing, what you have, who you know. If you don't like it,
and I think that making a grateful list when I first got sober, I think it did help me because, and I would put, if I had to do 10 things, I would do silly things like I got the laundry done. But for me, that was a big
That was a big deal for you.
And, that my health and that I hadn't taken a drink. I always started with that first. But I learned how to be grateful for small things, and instead of expecting skyrockets and fireworks, the only thing.
Gee, you're taking away all the fun. Yeah, the world's not going to explode because we did something. Yeah, it's never big enough, never enough. I want this, I want that. Even if I could never wait to do the red carpet thing. I thought that was making it, and I did red carpets for a while. I got so bored, just like, and okay, I'm walking on a situation. I have a picture taken. It's not like they're calling me later to say, "Wow, it was great to see you." It's like you did an event. So I got to put things in perspective, as did you. And I think that's part of our gratitude, where we don't have as big of expectations, even though we have hopes and dreams, but they're balanced in a different way, which I apply to my gratitude, where I can see through just the gorgeous clothes and handbags and the talk, because inside there's a lot of broken people. Huh?
And everything pink.
Everything pink. Okay, I'm going to bust us. Is it okay? Candy and I, a couple of weeks ago, when Barbie first hit the theaters, we went and saw Barbie. And
she made me go. I promised to God.
I begged her to go. No, we had a great time, and she was wearing pink tennies and didn't even realize she put on pink shoes. And then everything on the internet was Barbie this and Barbie that. So it was Barbie's crack house, and it was Barbie's car, and it was Barbie's clothes, and it was Barbie. And then last week here in Los Angeles, they had the Immersive, which is like a little Barbie museum, and we walked through these little doors and rooms and got to meet Barbie from the ages. And we grew up with Barbie. It's a whole generation.
No, you grew up with Barbie.
I grew up with Barbie. You were just a little older, but yeah, that's true. Barbie was, but the story was beautiful. A lot of people are mocking it, but you cannot mock a movie that makes over $1 billion. Sorry.
I thought, oh my God, look what I'm doing for her. I just can't believe I'm going to this movie. I'm not going to tell. I said, don't you tell anybody. And then all of a sudden, I'm the one that's laughing the loudest.
Yep. And it was funny and it was sad. I cried in that movie. People go, what do you mean you cried? And then after they saw it, they said, Linda, I got a little weepy too. Because there's a few sensitive scenes.
But, I was grateful I saw the movie. There you go.
And I'm grateful we got back on. And I'm grateful Rebel is patient with us, even though I can go like, oh, now what? I don't deal with issues at the last minute very well, especially if I feel like doing something. But I'm grateful I got up enough to do the show. Gratitude. Yes, when people say do a gratitude list, they don't know what that means. So you take a piece of paper, and you write gratitude. And you might write, I'm grateful for my father's.
And you write the date.
You put the date, you put 10, 15 items that feel right for you. I'm grateful I passed the test. I'm grateful I went to school. I'm grateful my sister and I have
I'm above ground and breathing.
Yeah, I'm breathing. I survived the pandemic. Whatever. Or you might say, I'm grateful for my dog, my goldfish. It doesn't matter. You're grateful for God. You're grateful for clothes. You're grateful for getting a paycheck. You're grateful for having teeth.
Always do something for
somebody else.
And then you'll be grateful that you've learned how to give of yourself. When I first got sober, there were 3 things. You were supposed to do something for your recovery, something for somebody else, and let them know it. And tell somebody that you loved them. But the something for somebody else, you couldn't tell anybody.
Right.
And that was difficult for me because I thought, well, look what a great person I am. I need to.
Yeah, and I want the accolades. You should thank me for what I did for you. But no, part of the giving or doing where it comes back is by keeping quiet. The other side of our jobs isn't always so blessed and grateful because we get beat up, yelled at, accused. I got bullied last night to the point on this call I did psychically. like it was my fault. I made a prediction in June and it didn't happen, and how horrible I am. I said, you know what? I can't tell time since lockdown anyway. Most readers can't. And the event will still unfold, but just because it didn't happen in June, like I said it would, it's my fault. So, it's hard when you can't please everybody, or people can't hear the whole picture, But going back to gratitude, I think it's an individual list. I
think if you're not in it, you're not staying.
No, there's no fake feelings, country. They're not fake feelings. It depends on how you feel. Say that again, Laura. Rephrase it. How would gratitude be fake? It's another feeling. You feel grateful when somebody gives. I feel grateful and embarrassed at the same time when I get a compliment, but it's still a grateful feeling. Like, wow, somebody sees me, or somebody thought it's a nice blouse.
But I think that to learn how to be grateful, sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. I mean, as I said, when I heard my name is blah blah, and I'm a grateful alcoholic, and I thought,
grateful for what?
Why? What the hell's the matter with you, buddy?
But once you get into the program of learning, then you understand the statement, right? And that's anything else. You're not going to understand it.
When we make our list, should we have important things on the list or everything?
Start out with 5 or 10. Whatever's important to you.
Things that matter, things that you're grateful for, your family. I'm grateful that some days I am grateful for 10 toes and 10 fingers. But I think grateful is an inside job. The longest journey in your life is between your head and your heart. And I think when they connect, then gratitude comes very easily. You don't put everything on it. You'd be there all week. But
you can do a grateful list every day. You can do a grateful list whenever you feel like it. You might list out 10 items today, country, and then tomorrow go, I forgot this.
It would be totally mundane.
It would be totally different. There's no law, no rule. It's just a tool. But it's a tool to self-discovery. It's a tool to help you understand you more and maybe appreciate, the neighbors have been really
small things. The little teeny things in life.
You start to appreciate things without getting crazy all the time. I get crazy with little problems that I can't control.
Well, you and I are so much. If there's a bomb, we got a bomb shelter. If somebody's doing something, we can't even get there. It's the little things that really.
Yeah, it's the little things we can navigate throughout life.
I could just say.
She wanted to know if there's actual little things. Should we take some things for granted? It's not taking it for granted. We do take things for granted, which is, I think, how my mother yelled and screamed all our young lives. Oh, they're not grateful, because where she came from in her history, with my grandparents having left Europe during the war when all the family was killed. And then I'm supposed to be grateful, but I didn't ask to be born. It was all those kind of conversations. You get grateful when you get out of your head. You get grateful when you see, Candy should be grateful that her husband, who was a famous musician, had all these accolades and records that he won and awards which are lining the walls. There's gratitude there for the work and what he left in his legacy. She's grateful she's on this show. She's grateful she's become famous in the world of intervention.
The work I get to do is my life work. I don't have a job.
Well, it's just what you do every day. It is your job. It's more than your job. We're on the phone 24/7. Well, then we do turn it off at night. It's constant. We just don't show up in the office on the 24th floor.
But you know what? I'm grateful that I still have, for my age, my health. I'm grateful that I'm still able to do this work. I'm not grateful that there are still people that need me. I wish that every addict, alcoholic in the world would get well. I'm grateful that, that I have somebody who'll pick up the phone if I need them. But there are things that I try to look, even when it's half empty, I try to get it half full. And I might add just a little bit of water to make sure that it's half full, because this depression that I've gone through in the last 2 years from losing my husband, I'm not a depressed person. I can really see the sun in every gloom.
You have loss and grief.
Really set me back. And I had to start realizing that I had to be grateful for so many things, that I found the love of my life, that I'd been married for 51 years, that A lot of things that my kids would remind me to be grateful for, because I would think, oh my God, I'll never get hugged again. Oh, how dare he? All the 7 steps of grief that I think there are about 14 in my life. But, it's like through it all, my kids always reminded me, but Mom, aren't you grateful but Mom, you had this, you had to be, and that word kept coming in. And that's why when we were talking about topics, my daughter is just completed nursing school, and she's moving back permanently to Oregon, which I'm thrilled for. She loves it there, and she's been there many years. But all her stuff is in Palm Springs because she was working there and living there. And so she has to fly down here, go to Palm Springs, 118, get somebody to load a truck, and load a truck in 118-degree weather, and then drive back to Oregon. But I'm so grateful that she's happy. And that
she got the job. She finished school. Everything. She took time off to help her dad.
I'm grateful that we're going to drive a U-Haul
and go back up. And she's got her new position. She's got her new start. She's got the job I thought she would get.
She's
going to be happy. She's going to be finally fulfilled.
I'm so grateful for the things that my son has accomplished, and I don't have to remind them. It seems like they're better students.
I remember the day where you were so afraid of him never making money or whatever, and all his struggles. And now this kid flies around the world, does gigs everywhere, just like his dad did. And he's building his career and record albums.
So grateful.
He is grateful because he knows what it took.
And my daughter's still grateful that she gets to help sick people. So
she's going to love this job,
Candy. She's going to love pass grateful on.
Yeah,
absolutely. I picked it up from that person that said they were a grateful alcoholic. And
it's not like that. You and I can sit at dinner sometimes and go over, well, so-and-so called about their son, their daughter, their mother, their whatever. And we get into the drama of what we're dealing with. But then at the end of the conversation, the gratitude comes in. Well, at least we tried, or at least they got into treatment, or at least they heard, or at least they surrendered. You got to go through the whole pattern of healing, or getting from, hi, my name is, all the way to, thank you. There's processes in between. You can't just like countries asking, is it a feeling? Is it a process? It's not like, okay, you're going to get off the show and say, well, now I'm grateful.
Listen, Courtney, aren't you grateful for Linda and I? Come on.
Yeah, you should be grateful for the show, because you can always hear the replay on 100 platforms out there. It'll even be on YouTube later. And you can always listen, or you could contact Candy at candyfinnegan@aol.com, or contact me at Dr. Linda at lindasalvin.com, and we can help you privately. We are available for private consultations or help in whatever need that you have. I do more metaphysics and spiritual, psychic stuff, and Candy's the interventionist, the mental health specialist, the addiction specialist. And there have been times the two of us have worked with the same people together, helping blend our talents to help that person become whole. Whatever you need, we are available. Again, Candy Finnegan, FINNIGAN at AOL.com, or me, DRLINDA at lindasalvin.com.
Well, I must admit, what we bring is hope.
We bring hope, but we give people courage. We give them something to think about. We open doors. It's faith. Help turn that fear into faith, that there is hope, or that there is another way, that there are solutions. Like you said, everybody's recovering from something. So whether it's porn, drugs, food, sugar, gambling, social media, the whole thing on social media, where my whole life becomes, oh my God, who's clicking?
Well, an open book. I just, I was thinking about, it's funny you said that. I was thinking last night, there was a situation that came up that somebody was talking about something that happened a long time ago. And I don't remember it the way that they remember it. Of course, we all have, our own.
And our memories change as we age.
But anyway, I thought, oh my God, I am so grateful that wasn't on social media. Because I wasn't at my best behavior, but they were laughing about it. And as I look back at it, I thought, oh my God, I was so disrespectful. And I thought, well, I'm not that way anymore, and I'm grateful for it. So there comes that whoop, 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 grateful.
I had a moment kind of like that. I was watching a show last night. There was a prison scene. So all the boys, the men were in their blues and their work shirts. And I flashed back to when I was about 15 or 16 years old. And I came from a pretty strict family in many ways. And my dad, I completely forgot about this. He said, no daughter of mine's going to walk around this house looking like a prisoner. And he literally took that work shirt and a pair of scissors and cut it up, ripped it up. And that was the end of me looking like a prisoner. And I was so angry. No, I was not grateful. But last night during that, it's like, he just wanted me to be a pretty girl. He just wanted to be more feminine. He couldn't say, wear something nicer. No, he had to do the Navy, the merchant marine guy. I don't want you looking like a prisoner, because he didn't know how to communicate. Had I understood, he was trying to help me see a different side of myself, as opposed to being the hippie that everybody did in school. We all dressed like that. I turned it around into gratitude. Like, I can't be angry at him now. I understand why he was angry. I didn't understand what was wrong when all the kids were wearing work shirts. The behavior might have been improper, but I can forgive him and now feel, okay, I see where I was wrong and what he was trying to say. Okay, well, the question just flashed. What happened? Can we bring that back, Rebel? Here.
I think for me anyway, I try to get out of the problem and into the solution. And the solution isn't always what I wish it would be, what I would hope it would be. But it's not living in this gloom and doom.
It's being more positive in your thoughts.
Yeah. And I think I've taught myself how to do that over the years. I might still revert back to, oh my God, but this isn't, we were talking about a dinner the other night. It still isn't solved with the disappointment that just came across with you with the show and stuff. But the truth of it is maybe, as we say, it's not odd, it's God. And he's doing for you what you couldn't do, because we don't have a preconceived idea.
Yeah, what Candy's talking about, I got hit below the belt 2 weeks ago already, whatever. I was in a documentary and I ended up on the cutting room floor. And it's the second big hit with this one topic that I cannot for the life of me understand why. And at some point I'll come clean with it when I'm allowed to, so I'm still under a gag order. I can't talk about it yet till it hits the movies. But it hurt. I'm like, why? It's like abuse. And yeah, I let out and I was rageful and I really gave this woman my peace of mind. Like, how could she? And called her a
She talked like a sailor.
I did. And then I apologized. And then, she's not going to care. It was me and 7 other people got cut out, but it's not the point. It was just one more time I got hurt. But the big picture, maybe there is something where the glass is half full and not half empty, because at the end, I might be being protected from this community of people that I may not really need to be a part of, but I keep thinking I want to head into it like a bull in a china shop, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, it's like, how do you, get a glass of water and put it by your bed. And so when you get up tomorrow, if you have stinking thinking and you think, oh shit, tomorrow's, I've got all this Thursday, I don't do it.
I didn't do this 20 years ago. Like they don't want the negative.
Yeah. Just think, oh my God, it's like I get to get out of bed. I get to wash my face. I get to brush teeth. I get to go do what I do. I have a job, whether you like it or not, you have a job. Oh, there she is right there.
Hello, Sue Michelson. Haven't seen you in a while. Well, thank you very much. There is a difference between your human experience and your soul journey, because the soul journey is where we're all going, but the human experience is learning where to forgive, forget, release your resentments.
So you can get out of bed every single day and be grateful that you're at home and not in the hospital, and that you're feeling better, and you have a lot to be grateful for, And
she's helped a lot of people too. Sue's been of service too. Sue's been around a long time helping other people.
She's been a tremendous service.
Yeah. So the glass full, glass half empty. We all have negative thoughts. For years, I would wake up with the committee yelling at me or beating me up. And then over time, especially since lockdown, it became softer, kinder. It's like a lot of things that used to bother me or I would obsess on are gone. then there's this new beginning inside where it's more peaceful. We're not used to peace. And that's the goal, is to be at peace within ourselves most of the time. No, I'm not as thin as I want. My hair, I'm not living where I want. I'm not this, I'm not that. Turn it around. I have this, I have that. I've accomplished it. Nobody gave this to me. I have earned where I am.
Well, I think you have to notice good things. You have to look at good things. And if nothing else, if you know somebody, because none of us know what the other person is going through or feeling like. And you can always just turn around and go, you look so nice today. I hope you're having a good day. I mean, I go to the CVS around me, and there's this really goofy kid. I'm sure he was bullied most of his life. I mean, it's just that. And he always says to me, you know what I wish for you? And I said, more coupons? Because I say that. And he goes, that you have a lovely day today. And I said, I'm going to try my best, and I hope you do too. He said, I'm so happy to have helped you. And I think, I got to take this guy's temperature. I said, do you take some kind of medication? And I
1 out of 100 are nice. Or then you got the fake nice people. Hi, how are you? Oh, I've been thinking about you. Oh, it's so nice to see you. Damn well.
If you think about somebody and you love somebody, don't forget to tell them.
That's true, because one day they could be gone and you don't even know how
one day they
are gone. They are gone. But I don't like the fake people, like you walk into the doctor's office. Hi, how are you? That's just being hospitable. When
how am I? Well, I'm sick. That's why I'm here.
And I'm still waiting for the medication they supposed to call in last night. Won't get there till tonight. It is what it is. Everybody's got something, and we all are recovering from something. I'm recovering from a virus on top of everything else of work-related issues. But gratitude is something you can find within yourself. If you don't understand it, just before you go to sleep tonight, say, I'm grateful for today. And you'll think, oh, God.
Make a grateful list. And I don't care if you do put down you have 10 toes and 10 fingers.
It doesn't. Just what I do at night.
Paper and a pen.
If my brain's on fire, I'll say, good night, God. No prayer. Thank you. I'll just say good night. I acknowledge my debt, my mom and my God, and I'm out. If I don't, I'm still squirrely. I have to bring the spiritual back in, which I learned through my journey here. Besides some of the external events in my life that got me in touch with God. For those that don't know my story, I was like in a little thing like a plane crash, and I woke up, but I still needed more. The way you find your center, your balance, your gratitude, your safety, your protection, your appreciation for people, places, things, that's your own journey. But there's people like us that can help you open that door, or help you maybe break through a resentment or some fears or some secret you're so afraid to tell somebody that you're living with, that you're so stuck in anxiety and fear, like of judgment. But once you start purging, the gratitude comes in. Sure, if you want to, Mitzi, I used to journal every day, and Candy and I are going to have a bonfire. I probably got 45 years of journals. I journaled every day for most of my life. And there's beautiful stuff and hard stuff and painful stuff and the love life stuff. And it's like, I can see all my emotions. I can see my growth. There's one book that says nobody knows the pain of an addict, because I was going through withdrawals and I was scribbling the pain, the emotional and spiritual pain. But now I'm grateful I'm on the other side of that. Nothing lasts forever, just like grieving the loss of a loved one. You will get through it, but it takes time.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you ever get through it, but you certainly
don't get over it. I don't think you get over it. There's always a hole in the heart.
Yeah.
Dogs, cats, fish, birds, people, places. I mean, we feel. If you didn't feel, there'd be something wrong.
Fish, Linda. You always bring up fish.
I have fish.
Yeah, you always go. And like goldfish or something.
I had goldfish.
Buy you a fish.
I had fish. I've had them all. I just don't have any right now. No. How's your cat? How's Mr.
Oh, my cat. My cat was just
didn't walk in today.
He's doing better.
Good. Usually he walks in to say hello. Mr. Blue's not here today. But gratitude. Grateful she's got this amazing cat. We got lost on a street not long ago. She goes, that's where I got the cat. So I now know the house where the cat came from. The cat came back. People, don't make it so hard. Don't make it such a job to feel right.
Always give yourself a pat on the back.
Have you ever thought of turning your past journals into books?
No, Mickey, we're not going to do that.
There's some books that I wouldn't publish, but
I'm sure some of the feelings and emotions, but not 45
not
years
all, yeah, no. I mean, I can go from my childhood all the way up to the last 5 years, maybe. I stopped, I think, during lockdown. I scribble. I don't journal like I did because I figure there's no one to talk to about it.
We're going to have a bonfire like few have ever seen.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. We will. When it cools down. We don't need a fire right now with 118-degree weather. Although it's only 91 right now here in Los Angeles as we're doing this show. But gratitude, people. I'm grateful you listen. I'm grateful for your questions we've got about.
Yes, I'm so happy to. I'm grateful to do this with you, Linda, and I'm grateful for all the tune in because we want you to know that life can always get better.
It's always another day, no matter how deep and dark it gets, it'll pop back up. We're out of time because we started late. I want to thank Rebel for helping us restart through the retrograde. I'm sorry?
I wanted to thank Rebel for putting up with us.
Yeah. She's probably used to it with 150 shows. But thanks, Rebel. We appreciate it. And then we're going to sign off. But again, if you want to reach Candy Finnegan privately, candyfinnegan@aol.com. Don't forget our book is When Enough is Enough on how to do an intervention for yourself, your family, loved ones. It's all there. And my book should be out at the end of this year, early next year. The chapters are done now. It's just getting the pictures and the edits together. No, it's not my historical journaling, but it's a journey. And you can reach me at Dr. Linda at lindasalvin.com or visit my website, lindasalvin.com. And what we really want you to do is go to the YouTube channel, click that little subscribe so you're with us every Wednesday right here at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Then it goes into the archive. You can always download it and rewatch it. And we'll see you again next week with another topic. And we'll be grateful for that if you show up and ask more questions. Have a great week, everybody.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.
And remember, we're all recovering from something. Bye.
Be grateful.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed Recovery Wednesday. You can reach Dr. Linda at 888-509-1077 or at lindasalvin.com and Candy Finnegan at candyfinnegan@aol.com. Need a breakthrough of your own? Ready for answers or insights nobody else has? Reserve your own one-on-one in-person chat. Dr. Linda isn't just for other people. Dr. Linda gets results for you. And it's easy. Contact details are on screen now. Just click on lindasalvin.com or call toll-free 888-509-1077. That's lindasalvin.com or toll-free at 888-509-1077.